There are many great stories to tell about the sacrifices and accomplishments of our remarkable students. Today, we will hear from one student, our valedictorian for this year. This distinction is reserved for the member of the graduating class of baccalaureate degrees with the highest overall grade point average. In this year's class, several students receiving bachelor's degrees had perfect GPAs of 4.0. The selection criteria, including the process to follow in the event of a tie, are outlined in the USU General Catalog and were used to determine the one student representing this year's class as valedictorian. The valedictorian for the College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences class of 2023 is Baylee Vogler, who is receiving a bachelor's degree in outdoor product design and development. In addition to her outstanding academic performance, Baylee worked as a peer advisor and as a lab technician in the machine shop. She was able to design, prototype, and patent a new climbing cam through the university. And in 2022, Baylee had the opportunity to intern with Black Diamond Equipment's industrial design team, where she helped design technical climbing equipment. Baylee.
Good evening, friends, families, professors, mentors, and class of 2023. Here we are, we made it, but woo! But we didn't do it alone. I think back to 4 years ago when my mom drove me up to college and dropped me off, and at first I just remember feeling so alone. I didn't know anyone, I lacked self-confidence, and the change of moving to a new place felt really intimidating. My initial reaction to being in an uncomfortable new place was to just hunker down and keep to myself, but I quickly realized that if I wanted to grow, I needed to put myself out there and grab hold of new opportunities, even if it was scary. I think the idea of faking it until you make it and doing things scared eventually translated into genuine confidence. I've grown so much over these past 4 years, and I attribute so much of that to my professors and mentors at USU. And I want to especially thank Dr. DeCuster. He was everything I could have asked for in a mentor. Whenever I told him about my ideas for new designs or different skills I wanted to develop, he was always there to help and offer advice. There's one day in particular where I had been in the machine shop for about 15 hours running code for some of the parts on the climbing cam I designed, and I was so close to being done, but then at like 11 p.m. at night, everything just like stopped working, and I was freaking out. And so I was like texting Dr. DeCuster, not really expecting him to reply because it was so late, but he was still there helping me troubleshoot stuff, and he was just awesome. So I hope that as you look back at your time at USU, you too will remember your professors and mentors and recognize the impact that they had on you. None of us would be here without them. As we gather here today on the cusp of a new chapter, I want to leave you with a message I wish I had known earlier. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. None of us need to have it all figured out. But we still made it. It might be easy to look up at me as I stand at the podium and think, wow, she's valedictorian, she must have it all figured out, or she must know what she's doing. And I'm here to tell you that I don't. My hope is that this speech shatters some of those ideas and lets you in on a secret that took me 4 years to learn, and that's that no one has it figured out, and that's okay. I recently came across a quote by Oscar Wilde, and it helped reinforce this idea. It went like this: if you want to be a grocer or a general or a politician or a judge, you will invariably become it, and that is your punishment. But if you never know what you want to be, if you live what some might call the dynamic life, if each day you are unsure of who you are and what you know, you will never become anything, and that is your reward. Now, I know initially this quote might sound a bit intimidating, but I don't think Mr. Wilde's intentions were to discourage anyone from becoming a general or a judge. I think he wants to make us realize that there's actually something really beautiful and exciting about not having everything figured out. That maybe one of the best things we can be is just a learner, questioning the world around us and exploring new things. He speaks of the dynamic life, of embracing uncertainty and being open to new opportunities. One of our greatest assets during times of uncertainty, times of change, and times of stress, much like graduating from college, is to build resilience and continue to put one foot forward. It's impossible to have everything figured out right now. With new experiences and opportunities, new challenges will follow. A message I personally remind myself of during times when I'm overwhelmed with life is something my partner Richard would repeat to me while we're on long runs. RFP, relentless forward progress. No matter what, try to keep moving and keep putting one foot in front of the other. This last year, Richard introduced me to ultramarathon running, a sport where athletes compete in races longer than a marathon. The distances are typically 50K, like 50 kilometers, 50-mile, 100 kilometers, and 100-mile races. And it usually entails wearing a pack while you run along trails and just eat lots of snacks. And also question why you thought that would be a good idea in the first place. But last year, we actually signed up for a 50K on Antelope Island. And at first, I was like totally questioning what we were doing. It was 31 miles, and it felt completely out of reach. But we slowly built up our mileage and started to tackle longer distances. And our weekends leading up to the race were filled with long training runs. And as we just tried to build our endurance and get used to that higher mileage. Something I quickly learned was that the way to succeed in these races wasn't to be the fastest one out leading the pack or be pushing pace the entire time. The best way to succeed was to just keep moving, regardless of how small the steps were. Whether you were running or walking, relentless forward progress. My partner Richard has been one of my biggest cheerleaders in everything I do. Whether it's running, climbing, backcountry skiing, or studying, we're a team, and he's always pushed me to do my best. I can always count on him to crack jokes and keep me laughing, even when things get tough. Now is probably a good time to look around you at the people sitting in the audience and the people that came here to support you. The people that cheered you on and supported you every step of the way and encouraged you to keep moving forward. None of us could have done this alone. I want to take a moment to recognize my parents, my mom and dad. They never stopped believing in me, and their constant support always means the world to me. I also want to recognize my brother Jackson, who's been one of my best friends growing up and whose wild creativity has always challenged and inspired my own work. It's easy to get overwhelmed, thinking we need to have everything figured out right now, especially when it seems like everyone around us has it together. But maybe it was never, ever about having it all figured out. We all got here because we persisted. Relentless forward progress. We kept moving forward, even when it got tough, one step at a time. And we couldn't have done it without the help of so many people around us. I hope that as we begin this new journey, we will continue to embrace new opportunities, make mistakes, and try new things, and live that dynamic life that Oscar Wilde was talking about. We've got this. It has been an honor to speak to you today, and I want to congratulate each and every one of you on your incredible achievements. We've all worked so hard to get here, and I'm honored to have shared this journey with you. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
Thank you, Baylee. You are an excellent representative of academic achievement in the College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences. Congratulations on your achievements. We wish you the very best in your future endeavors. And we want to give you this gift to thank you for being brave and continually pushing forward to get yourself here today. So thank you.